Invited 15 of my closest friends to my birthday party, but they didn't even reply to the invite, and I feel so ashamed. I, 27F, made a WhatsApp group and invited 15 of my closest friends to my birthday party. I planned a nice themed dinner. The theme was Italy/Dolce Vita at a nice restaurant with one live music act, a nice cake ordered from a bakery and fitting the theme, and decorations. I wrote a heartfelt text, how I want to celebrate getting older with my oldest and greatest friends, and I detailed everything that was planned for the evening in the invitation. And then, nothing. Nobody replied, nobody said a word, like, thanks for the invite, or looking forward, or anything at all. After a few hours, my boyfriend posted a party meme in the WhatsApp group and wrote how excited he was to get it started. Still nothing. After almost 2 days, I posted a gif of chirping grills and made a funny comment, still thinking maybe people simply forgot to reply. After another day, I started texting people individually if they would like to come or if they are available that evening, and a few responded that they will let me know soon. Others didn't respond at all. After almost a week, not a single one of my friends posted into the group or have messaged me if they would like to come to my birthday party. After 0 invitation acceptances and after reaching out several times, I felt so ashamed, like I was begging the people to want to celebrate me or to come. I started to cry and I felt so depressed. Ashamed and humiliated, I just deleted the WhatsApp group. Nobody has asked me about that either. My birthday is now just a week away. I called the restaurant and canceled. I called the bakery and canceled my order, and I returned the decorations I bought. Maybe I was the stupid one for organizing all those things beforehand, but I was just so sure that at least a handful of people would like to come/show up. I am just so sad. I have known most of my friends for at least 15 years. I was their bridesmaids, their child's godparent, their maid of honor. I was there at graduation ceremonies and birthday celebrations. And I am truly puzzled. Is it really such a burden to come to my dinner? A dinner which I will have paid in full and which I tried to make it into a beautiful evening/event for everyone. I am just so sad and ashamed that I wasn't even worth a reply message. My boyfriend is trying to cheer me up, and he immediately got busy organizing a surprise birthday evening for me. He is wonderful, and I am just so glad he and my parents care so much about me. Otherwise, I would just feel absolutely worthless. Commenter: who are these people? I can assure you it is extremely rare to have 15 close friends. Mostly people I went to school or kindergarten with. They are as many as 15 because I invited my friend and additionally their partner. So 6 invitees were actually additional partners. Hope that helps. Smiley face. Update 1. Same day. I have read every single comment. The comments ranged from compassionate to giving advice or constructive criticism. All in all, reading all of them felt so incredibly uplifting and cathartic. Thank you all. I will continue reading and answering as much as I can and give you any updates. To the people believing I will get a surprise party, I really won't. I think honestly every one of my friends is in their own bubble and has their own stuff going on and just wasn't feeling it right now, which was definitely hurtful and rude, but at least it didn't feel malicious. About my friends, they're not bad people at all, but they're probably victim to a world where commitment in general is a rare thing to find, where rules and manners are slowly forgotten, and where being constantly busy is a good enough excuse for anything. I found it rude, but I will not confront them, but rather distance myself. They are my friends, because in times of crisis they were there for me, and we share many good memories. However, as many pointed out, you do grow apart, and this behavior might be a result of that. I talked to my boyfriend a lot, and showed him some of the responses, and he was very reassuring. He told me the fact that I cared so much, that I always try to do things with love and care. That is one of the things he appreciates and loves most about me, and he never wants me to give that up. I also reflected on me and my character, and I will try and do better myself, as I also sometimes forgot to reply to a text or canceled a lunch last minute. I will try to put the behavior out there that I would like to receive. I ordered myself a birthday calendar, an address book, and a couple birthday cards, and I will note every birthday of a friend or acquaintance that I make and send them a birthday card. Too many of the comments talked about the hurt they felt when people forgot their birthday and didn't show up. I find the idea to try to do things differently soothing. P.S. Thanks also for the many birthday wishes. They made me so happy. P.P.S. For all the people wanting to come my party, I wish. That would certainly be so cool, and makes me believe that new friends are just around the corner. Smiley face. Downvoted comment from you/DeSantos. Hard disagree with the majority here. OP, you are 27. That's well beyond being a child, and well beyond expecting anyone to care about your birthday. Like, did you attend 15 birthday parties each year for all of these people? You probably did not, or at least you can sympathize with people who are like, hey, we're in our 20s now. We've all got jobs and chores to do. Can't we just simply hang out? The older you get, the more you need to stop thinking only about yourself. What do other people want to do that you like doing? Maybe next time arrange something that people would mutually like to do rather than a vanity celebration for something you should have grown out of 20 years earlier. OP. This comment is quite unfriendly, but I still appreciate that you took the time to comment. Update 2. Next day. I followed the advice of basically everyone and asked a few of them what happened and why I wasn't even granted a reply or reaction, especially when I kindly asked all of them to RSVP until a certain date. To all the optimistic people, I have to disappoint you. There wasn't a surprise party planned. Also, all of them use WhatsApp regularly, and all of them saw the invites. The group messages were ticked blue. Now for their responses/explanations. 4 of them had possible alternative plans and couldn't decide if they wanted to go to my party or to commit to the other plans, so they just didn't want to say anything until they decided on something. 2 girlfriends didn't have confirmation if their partner could attend or not, so again, they just didn't say anything because they didn't know yet. All the partners were included in the group chat though. 1 said she wasn't feeling too well lately and wanted to decide spontaneously to come. 1 had a valid excuse, since she tried to find childcare for her 6-month-old child all week long. She's the only one with a child and she actually found childcare, so we will do something with her and her husband. I told all of them how it made me feel, that it was rude, and that it made me cry and feel unwanted. I also told them that it is their loss, because if they don't appreciate me organizing nice events and evenings, this is not the first time I had issues like this. There simply won't be any for them to attend in the future. They all admitted that their behavior was rude and unfriendly, and were apologetic and told me they are sorry. 1 friend said he really messed up, and after he saw I deleted the group, he felt pretty bad and wanted to approach me anyways. It is not ideal, but it is something. I will not cut them out as suggested by many. I talk to them, I express my hurt, and I will give them the opportunity to learn from their mistakes and to grow. They are flaky in a society that accepts flaky and non-committal behavior. They are human and faulty, and I am also not a perfect human who does behave ideal all the time. I know that this answer may disappoint some. I will, however, make room in my life for people who are more reliable and who would be appreciative and enthusiastic about theme parties, and will not rely too much on my current friends. All your messages were so uplifting and nice, and I honestly feel a lot better now, and I am starting to look forward to my birthday again. I feel also incredibly optimistic that I will find like-minded people and friends in the future, and I won't give up. I will throw nice parties and dinners again, and I just have hope in my heart that my friends will have changed a bit, and I will also have made new, great friends by then. Thanks a lot again to everyone. P.S. To everyone telling me about their bad experiences, their birthday parties, where nobody attended, and the moments they felt lonely. I feel so sad for you and with you, and wish for every single one of you to find people who love and appreciate you. You all help me to feel less ashamed and less alone. Storied. Am I the a-hole for refusing to continue providing free childcare for my stepdaughter? I did a work program with the local clerk of court's office when I was in high school. They hired me when I graduated, and I had my 30 service years before I turned 50. With 30 service years, you can get your full pension at any age. I worked until my first grandchild was born. Then I retired to be grandma daycare. I have 5 grands, 8 male for my stepson, 7 male for my son, 5 female and 18-month male for my daughter. I babysat all of them with no issues or complaints. I still keep the 18-month-old Monday through Friday, and the older ones summer and school holidays. My stepdaughter and her boyfriend has been nonstop drama since before the baby was born. When she was 10 weeks pregnant, they presented a 3-page list of rules for when I was babysitting. They said if I didn't sign it, they wouldn't allow me to babysit. I said that I understood their need to do what was best for their baby, and I assured them that there would be no hurt feelings on my end when they made other childcare arrangements. Some of the rules were almost understandable, but most were downright ridiculous, and none of it was going to work for me. I don't remember them all, but some examples are: I can't take the baby anywhere without their permission. I can't watch more than one additional child while babysitting. I can't cook. I had to provide the full name, DOB, and address of any potential visitors ahead of time for their approval of the person being around their child. They have to know anytime I have a guest over and know who it is and how long they stay. My 9-year-old cat would have to be kept out of rooms where the baby would be, even when the baby wasn't there. I couldn't get another pet without their agreement. When she was 7 months, along they came back with revised rules in an attempt to compromise. I again let them know that their expectations were not going to fit with my life, and they should just find other childcare. 2 days after my stepdaughter went back to work, she called and asked if I could keep Cullen the next day. I agreed, but made it clear that I was going to provide safe, appropriate care according to my judgment, and I wasn't going to deal with complaints or whatever that I was violating their rules, because I wanted it very clear that I was not agreeing to any of that. My stepdaughter was okay on the days she picked Cullen up and dropped him off. I felt like she was interrogating me every time she picked him up, but it was tolerable, but her boyfriend was downright rude. I got to the point where I actually spent Sunday dreading the start of the week because of dealing with both of them, but especially his behavior. At minimum, he'd pick up Cullen, make a big deal of partially undress him, make at least one snide comment about my cat, or if I had any grandchild over besides the 18-month-old, or if I had cooked or whatever. Then he'd say, "I guess we don't have any choice but to put up with this for now," or "I guess you are happy that you won." This went on for 4 months. I spoke to my stepdaughter several times about it, and told her that obviously they're very unhappy with how I cared for Cullen, and that they should really work on finding something else, and that in the meantime, he needed to be less vocal about it. It would get better for a day or two, and then he'd start again. It all came to a head as Thanksgiving was approaching. He was very verbal about the fact that he didn't want me to keep all my grandchildren over the break. I made it very clear that there would be a couple of days that I had all of them, and that they needed to make other arrangements if they had problem. They didn't make other arrangements, and when he picked Cullen up on the first day that I had all my grands, he was very rude, and although nothing happened, everyone was happy, clean fed, had a great day, he said to Cullen, that he was sorry that they had no choice except to leave him in an unsafe situation to be neglected. I called my stepdaughter that night, relayed to her what was said, and told her that she had 2 weeks to make other arrangements, and that she needed to drop off and pick up Cullen during those 2 weeks, and if her boyfriend came to drop him off, I would refuse to keep him, and if he picked him up, I would not keep him again. So things were better only dealing with her. At some point, she asked me if I would keep him until January, because they found someone, but he couldn't start until then. I agreed. She picked Cullen up and dropped him off. Everything was fine. New Year's Day, several people sent me a screenshot of a post her boyfriend made on social media about how thankful he was that they were finally able to leave Cullen without worrying about his safety or him being neglected. He didn't outright name me or accuse me of anything specific, but anyone who knows us knows I was keeping him, and the post implied plenty. I was just happy that it was over. Friday, she called me and said that their new child care provider had told her that Cullen wasn't a good fit and that she couldn't bring him back Monday. She asked if I would start keeping him again. I told her that I was sorry for their situation, but I really don't feel comfortable keeping him. My husband and stepson both think I should watch Cullen under the agreement that Amanda drop him off and pick him up because they think her boyfriend is the big problem, and that I should just do it for Cullen's sake. My stepson also commented that I'd probably be more willing to let it go if it had been a conflict with my daughter's husband. My pension is about $4,000 per month plus continuation of my health insurance. That's about 40% of our take-home income, if that matters. Ada for refusing to start watching Cullen again? Relevant comments. Commenter 1. NTA. No, you shouldn't put yourself through this for Cullen's sake. Cullen will get cared for regardless. There's no need for you to set yourself on fire because your stepdaughter and her BF can't behave like normal human beings. Your husband and stepson are welcome to offer free childcare and put up with this treatment if it's important to them. But you've done your time. Learn from that experience and don't let yourself be put in the same situation again. Commenter 2. FR. She is an ideal grandma and deserve a lot better than whatever this is. OP. I don't know about ideal, but my mom was my rock and her helping with my kids helped so much financially. My kids had such an amazing relationship with her. I wanted to do that for my children and grandchildren. Does OP's stepdaughter and the boyfriend earn enough to have a parent stay home with their child? OP. They make roughly the same salary, so doubt they could afford either to stay home, and I doubt that's what he wants. I don't meddle in their affairs, but they seem to spend a lot of money relative to their salaries. I really don't know what goes on in their house. She and I aren't close, so she wouldn't confide in me if there was a problem, but I don't think he's abusing her. Commenter 3. Looks like your stepson should find a new babysitter then, given you're always showing so much favoritism to your biological children faced with rolling eyes. OP. His is the oldest. I literally retired to watch his child for free. I could have just kept working and waited until my biological children had babies if that was how I felt. How is OP's relationship with her stepdaughter? OP. My stepdaughter had lots of very big emotions when her dad got serious with me. Her parents had been divorced for years but were still angry at each other and didn't exactly co-parent well all the time. I was, unfortunately, the person she lashed out at most. I worked in the clerk of court's office and took lots of free evening family court classes. They are such a great resource, and so many people sat through them, court-ordered, but completely disengaged. I've had lots of practice and professional help, setting behavioral expectations and boundaries with her. Update. Next day. First, let me just address the common suggestion that Amanda's boyfriend is purposely sabotaging their childcare to trap her at home. They make roughly the same amount of money and definitely can't afford to lose half their income. I seriously doubt he wants her to stay home. Second, I would never tell my stepson to find someone else to watch his child because of a simple difference of opinion. My grandson and I have a very close bond. He's the oldest and would break my heart, and as if he didn't come spend his holidays and summers with me. Plus, he's a huge help with the little ones when I have them all and things get hectic. I would never be so petty as to make him, and all my other grandchildren, suffer because of an adult disagreement. So I sort of asked around about why they were dropped by their new sitter so quickly. Apparently, they weren't. Amanda picked Cullen up and dropped him off both days he went, and everything was lovely. He did cry quite a bit, but they expected that to get better as he adjusted to not being held as much. My husband and stepson talked to Amanda, and she said that they realized that they can't afford daycare. They already made the easy changes, packing a lunch, giving up fancy coffee, etc. And his dad and her mom are both giving them about $100 per month toward childcare, and they can barely afford it, but they didn't realize that you have to send everything the baby needs. I buy diapers, wipes, formula, bottles, extra clothes, etc. They just hand me the baby. They didn't realize that daycare didn't cover all that. Also, imagine her boyfriend's surprise when he found out what the staffing rates are in this very expensive daycare. 1 adult cares for 5 infants. I guess he thought that someone would provide one-on-one care, diapers, wipes, and formula for $350 per week. My stepson relayed their almost apology. They felt overwhelmed by an infant and couldn't imagine that someone else could manage that plus other things. Cullen is going back to daycare tomorrow. Cullen's dad is selling his dirt bike, and Amanda is selling some designer clothes, handbags, and shoes to cover the cost. It'll get easier for them in 6 months when he transfers to the 1-year-old class, which is a little cheaper. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Good on you, OP. If your husband brings it up again, tell him he can pay for his grandson's childcare, as you had been publicly accused on neglect, and will not take on the legal risk of caring for Cullen anymore. OP. We agreed when they were cutting up that he wouldn't give them any money towards childcare. Commenter 2. So not only are they myopic and ungrateful and condescending, but they're also dishonest. Amanda lied to her stepmother when she told her that they had been asked to leave, that it wasn't a good fit, and their last day would be Monday at the daycare. Wow, I am so glad OP didn't back down and let them bring Cullen back. OP, I will never babysit him again. I will not watch him in a house. I will not watch him with a mouse. I will not watch him in a box. I will not watch him with a fox. I will not watch him here or there. I will not watch him anywhere. Commenter 3. Info. Is Amanda's BF even the least bit contrite that his entitlement and unreasonable attitude has cost his family money they can clearly not afford? If not, has any of this lifted the haze from Amanda's eyes that this guy is a good partner to support her and their child through all of life's ups and downs? For heaven's sake. They had free childcare at their disposal and they shat all over OP. Talk about pooping the bed. OP. I really can't say. My stepson and husband spoke to Amanda and possibly him and relayed the message. I haven't spoken to them directly since I found out Amanda lied about Cullen being kicked out of daycare. I honestly don't care if he's sorry or not at this point. Being sorry that you got caught and have a consequence is different than reflecting on your actions and realizing that you were wrong and have real remorse. If he ever gets to that point, we can have a heart-to-heart. Where are the stepdaughter and her boyfriend's parents' involvement in Cullen's care? OP. Our mom and dad both work full-time. His dad works full-time. No idea about his mom. OP can set up the boundaries when it comes to caring for her grandchildren. OP. When you are providing free childcare, you can allow whatever boundaries you want. I'm not texting anyone about a short trip to the store. If that's a condition they have, they are more than welcome to make other arrangements for their children that do not involve me.